Okay, Moxa. So this is a Moxa protocol for bolstering kidney chi and draining damp, particularly from the lower jiao, from the lower region. So talking about this in context of vertigo, of which cold damp and chi deficiency would seem to be a common causal factor. So this is a Moxa stick, pretty easy to get. Alongside the Moxa stick, if you can, get one of these contraptions. These are amazing. So the Moxa stick goes through. Much easier to light with one of these. This is a rubber bottom, so keep it away from there. You can do this whole treatment without this contraption, but this is wonderful if you can get your hands on it. We'll get that going. That'll happen. Make sure you've got an ashtray so that any of the hot ash, well, it doesn't get too, but it doesn't fall on you or the client. So I'm just going to do this as a self-treatment. I'll bring that back, depending on how hot we want it. I'd probably start the treatment on the legs at stomach 36. So stomach 36 is, there's a few ways to locate it. So you find the bottom eye of the lateral side of the patella, the knee, and then you 4 finger breaths, which I think is 3 sun in acupuncture speak. So that gives me the height, and then I basically go off the shin bone 1 finger width. So I'll go from this side. Find the bottom of the knee, 4 of your own fingers. That gives me my height. I come off the shin bone by about a finger breadth. The other way to do it is that I just trace up the lateral line of the tibia. And when it starts to kick out, at the point where it junctions out and starts to go into the large head of the tibia, I basically, again, go 1 finger breadth off the bone. So that's it there. Now, the beauty of this contraption is that I can be quite broad with my point location, but that's it there. Okay, so then I take this baby and I just let it warm up the area. I might leave it there for even up to a minute, depending on how quickly it warms up and how much time we have. I'm just going to do very short holds on each one now, though, while I'm showing you. Good. See that Moxa stick is starting to smoke. So I'm going to go, actually what I do is up to a minute there, and then I'm going to move down to spleen 6. So if I find, again, I use that measurement, and I find the knobbly bit of the ankle, the bottom of the tibia, and then 4 finger breaths. And when my finger falls off, I find that I slide off the medial side of the tibia and fall into a divot there, and that is spleen 6. Sun Yin Jiao, I think it is called, and it's the meeting point of 3 acupuncture channels, the kidney, spleen, and something else. It's very good there for bolstering the chi. And once again, I spend however much time I wished here. So I hold it for a whole minute, but I want to keep the Moxa stick smoking as well, which obviously won't be an issue if you don't have this little contraption. That will be, and I'll just keep ashing. Do it. So you might want to take this out of its paper as well. We don't want that Moxa to slide down and touch the skin directly. That would be no fun. So I'm keeping pressure on my finger there just to keep the Moxa stick in place. Good. So we've done a minute or so there. And then we slide up the medial line of the tibia until we hit the groove where the tibia head starts to arc out. In that groove, we will find spleen 9. So you can stimulate the point first with your thumb once you find it. So you locate it and stimulate it, and then probably over the area. So spleen 9 is an excellent point for removing down from the lower jaw, from the lower belly. If you lie back, like lie flat on a bed or whatever, and then you touch your stomach and push down and you can hear fluid moving around, that is a sure sign that there is damp stuck in the lower jaw, like stagnant. Would consider it quite toxic fluids. So we want to move those on. It's starting to get quite hot now. So I would, at a minimum, cycle through those 3 points once, but I would do it up to 3 times and on both legs. So I'm just going to really quickly put on my other leg just for symmetry's sake. So, and to show again those point locations, I find the bottom of the patella into that little eye, 4 finger breadths, and then where are we? Little spot. So where my finger falls, 1 finger breadth away from there, I'll have stomach 36. Hold it there for a minute or so, however long you want. I'm going to move quickly so you don't get bored. Down to spleen 6. Again, I find that point on the ankle, 4 finger breadths. I slide off the divot of the tibia into a little divot, stimulate the area, and Moxie. Whoa. Yeah, probably better to take this out of the paper. Doesn't really matter for the burning, maybe just burns away. So we spend a minute or so down there, and we'll slide up the medial line of the tibia when it goes down to the divot of the head, right up there in that junction. Spleen 9, king of draining damp. Good. Sensitive there. So on. So another point while we're on the legs is kidney 1. So there's a few ways to locate kidney 1. It is it's the relative point of labrum on the foot, of the hand point labrum. So the same way that you would, labrum falls slightly off center, so too does the bubbling well. Chinese name escapes me right now. So the way that I find it is that I take 4 fingers. I'm not going to get my foot too close to the other side. So if I go into the space between my big toe and the next toe, and then so I'm going to line the end of my pinky, the end of my little finger, up with that gap in between the big toe and the first toe, and then I'm going to do the same measurement of 4 fingers, 3 some, I believe it is, and then I'm going to fall off my my index finger's nail, and I'm going to fall into a divot, so 1 finger breadth down from there, and I'll be on the point, stimulate the point. You can do this straight on the skin, or you can do it over the socks, and hang out there for a little while, get some warmth into the kidney channel. Good. So we spend however long we want, do both kidneys, do both kidney sides, both feet. Really notice that warmth running into the channel. So I would start by putting heat directly over the spleen. So you just kind of follow the arc of the ribs down, so sitting underneath the ribs, and I would again hang out there for however long I felt necessary, and I'll slowly make my way around. You could do this over the t-shirt. I really want to stink up my t-shirt though. So I wouldn't spend, so making your way around, I wouldn't hang out over the liver too much with the heat. Keep descending through there. And so on, all the way around. So you can take as much time as you want on that. I like to get nice and low on the belly, and really spend some time in that bottom arc underneath the belly there. And so kind of even just above the pubic bone, really you'll feel where it's needed. You want to really get the warmth happening there in the lower jaw to dry the damp up. So I would spend some time through the red line as well. Right down through that bulb channel, through that front channel. Just sit down here again. Don't hang out over the liver too much. You want to put a lot of warmth in the spleen. You want to bolster the spleen chi, let the liver chi calm. Spend a lot of time in the lower jiao and really getting the warmth through there as well. I'm going to put that down. These are great, these things, so I can put it out like that. So, stomach 36, spleen 6, spleen 9, kidney 1, and then working through the hara area, through the stomach area. Plenty of time down there in the lower jiao, plenty of time over the spleen to drain the dam and then boost kidney chi. Works a treat. Enjoy.